So Jarrell Miller's drug ban is set to end on June 16th this year, meaning he will be free to apply for a professional boxing license and return to the ring once again. Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Now, we have another big baby in the American heavyweight boxing scene right now. He goes by the name of Jared Anderson. And for me, Jared Anderson has been more impressive than Jarrell Miller. So that'll be interesting if the two of them could get in the ring and battle over who gets to call themselves Big Baby moving forward. But all that aside, how do I feel about Miller coming back? Boxing in professional sports is full of PEDs. Do we make an example of the people who do get caught in the hope that it will deter other people from even trying PEDs? Or do we look at it another way and say, well, the only people who are going to get caught are the ones who are not big cash cows. Therefore, the big cash cows have an unfair advantage because even if they do get popped, somehow it all gets brushed under the carpet, like with Canelo Alvarez and the juicy beef, right? So it depends how you want to look at the situation. You're never going to remedy it completely. It's never going to be perfect. The world is never going to be perfect. These are things that you have to learn to accept in life. Anybody thinking that a utopia is possible, you're delusional. And those kind of people are basically afraid or too weak to do their internal work, to improve themselves to such a degree that the issues in the world are not affecting you so much. That's the key. Self-improvement. That way you don't need to have all these silly dreams about a utopia or anything like that. Anyway, so I'm realistic about this Jarrell Miller situation with the PEDs and all that. Lots of fighters have come back after drug bans. Alexander Povetkin, of course, several times popped for PEDs. He came back and continued fighting on. Now, none of them were as egregious as Jarrell Miller, who was popped several times and he had a whole host of stuff in his body. The reason I'm conflicted about this situation, and some people are saying Miller should be banned for life. The reason I'm conflicted, I'll be honest, is because I like Miller as a character in boxing. Even though he might be, whatever people want to call him, a scumbag, I want to see how some of these fighters in the heavyweight division cope with his very bullish, brash personality and his enormous physical size, over 300 pounds, walking people down, laying on them. I mean, he's ragdolling guys who are 250, 260. That's how big and strong Jarrell Miller is. Now, of course, he was doing that while he was on the that juice. Can he still do it if he's off the juice? Because you got to figure now, the commissions and any opponent that Jarrell Miller steps in the ring with, who's of any note, they are going to be watching this guy like a hawk. They're going to be putting him through every single drug. The drug testing for Miller at this stage is going to be crazy. It's going to be the most insane levels of drug testing, as it should be. And like I say, it remains to be seen how Miller will perform without the PEDs in his system. If he can perform anywhere near the level that he used to, I still think he's an interesting addition to the heavyweight division, and there's lots of interesting matchups that you can see this guy in. I'm not saying he's the most skillful heavyweight you've ever seen, but the sheer size of him, the work rate, the physical strength, and perhaps the chin is going to make him a tough hombre for a lot of people. So, yeah, the ethical questions aside, I look forward to watching Jarrell Miller, to be honest with you. Povetkin's come back into boxing. Luis Ortiz has come back into boxing. You're never going to be able to make this situation perfect. Ban people for a couple years here and there. Again, if you're banning people for life, you have to look at the fact that there are cash cows out there who are never going to be caught. So it's like a two-tier system. You're banning these lower level fighters for life, but yet the top fighters are getting away with it because they're cash cows. Does that make the situation any more fair, or does it actually make it less fair? See what I'm saying? Let me know what you think.